Rickey Nelson Jones, he's running for Anne Arundel County Circuit Court Judge. How you doing, Rickey?
Fine, sir.
Thank you so much for accepting the interview. Finally, we're able to sit here and talk a little bit about, what you're going to bring to the table if elected judge. So talk to us a little bit about your experience, your work experience, and what, more importantly, that makes you qualified to be able to run for the position that you're running for.
Right. First thing is, I run a diverse, multi-state law practice, 25 years straight uninterrupted. When I say diverse, I mean criminal law, civil law, administrative law, and appellate law. I also represent people both in state court and federal court, and I represent people outside of the state of Maryland. That's what I mean by multi-state. So I'm representing people, all my corporations that I represent, New York, New Jersey, Ohio, Louisiana, Tennessee, Washington, D.C. So by having a diverse multi-state law practice, at least based on my law office's research, there's never been a judge in the history of the Circuit Court for Anne Arundel County that type of diverse multi-state experience. My legal articles have been published nationwide, at least 6 of them, by the National Bar Association. Also, I have served as a panelist on continuing legal education classes. These are classes that you take during bar conferences just to enhance your understanding of the law. I have served on a panelist at least 4 times, and I will be serving on a panelist this year as well. And so in terms of legal knowledge, experience, and scholarship, I'm second to no other candidate or sitting judge on the Circuit Court for Anne Arundel County. Sometimes because you see Reverend in front of somebody's name, people don't understand that I've been practicing law longer than I've been a Reverend. And so my love of the law preceded my love of being a minister. Right. And so I like to make that very clear, because I actually had somebody to respond to my Facebook and said something about, I don't want somebody who's a pastor or a minister as a judge, because they're going to try and apply the Bible.
So that won't interfere with you. Well, I wasn't going to ask it like applying the Bible to any of your work, but you being a pastor won't interfere with your work as judge if elected?
As a matter of fact, I think being a pastor and having a love for people from all walks of life and a uncompromising integrity and a thirst for what is just and right for all people is a tremendous asset. Sometimes people don't know that pastors are not doing all of the physical work. Usually the people in the church are doing the work. The pastor kind of serves as a guide. So if I wasn't a pastor but very active in the church, then that would be a legitimate question. But as a pastor, we can delegate things. And so the beauty of being a pastor and a lawyer is that I will put it this way, I have an extraordinary sense of what is right and what is wrong. And I believe that's critically important for any judge, because often you will have to make decisions that will require judgment more than just the law and the facts. Sometimes you have to make decisions that precedes that. Let me give you a good example. Some years ago, I was representing one of my corporate clients in Calvert County, and there was a judge there, Judge Claggett. He's retired by now. He's retired, but his wife continues to serve on the bench. And because my corporate client had a case that really didn't get handled right away, we had to wait around. So we sat in the district court all day long, basically. So I'm watching all of the cases. By the time my case came up, we handled the case. We were successful. And before I left, it was at the end of the day, I asked the judge, I said, Judge Clark, do you mind if I say something to you, sir? It's not related to my case. He said, yes, Mr. Jones. I said, I have watched you today demonstrating fairness and justice that is refreshing to see. I said, people have come up here and they didn't have a clue as to what they were doing. And I want you to know the way you explain to them what evidence is. Evidence is not just saying that the other side is wrong, but evidence is actually having testimony, documentation, video, having something that is substantive and that is viewed as evidentiary in court, to explain the legal process to these people and then give them a postponement to come back with an attorney, or at least come back better prepared. I said, sir, that is a demonstration of judgment that is just and fair, and I want you to know it has not gone unnoticed. And I just want you to know I saw it, and congratulations, sir. He said, Mr. Jones, thank you, but I'm getting ready to retire. I said, Judge Claggett, I am very sorry to hear that. This is what I'm talking about, having a super solid sense of what is right and what is wrong.
Is that who you aspire to be as a judge?
that thing that I saw him do, that's what I aspire to. Because I don't know him personally. Right. But what I saw him do, the way he did not use the law as a hammer when people simply didn't have a clue. But he explained it to him. He talked to him. Even though the defendant was saying, even though the plaintiff was saying, let's go forward, we want to try the case. He was like, and explained the law to the poor defendant who didn't have a clue. Instead of going to give you another week or two to go to a lawyer or come back, but understand what evidence is. That's the type of judgment that precedes the law and the facts. Yeah. Is that type of judgment. And I think that's sorely missing. I've been practicing law 25 years straight, sir, and been involved with the law for over 30 years. I've never seen that before. Yeah. You know, and so that's refreshing, and that is what that particular thing he did is what I aspire to.
That's awesome.
That's a judge.
Explain to us a little bit more about what the Anne Arundel County Circuit Court is, because to be completely honest with you, I can't tell you the difference between district court, circuit court, federal court. I mean, I don't know. So gotcha. Why is the circuit court so important?
Yeah. It affects people's lives in a dramatic way. Major criminal matters and significant civil matters are handled. This is where we have our jury trials. Also, we have judge trials there. Divorce, child support, child custody, and even domestic violence, they're handled there. The circuit court has a dual role also. It serves as an appellate court as well. For example, district court decisions and certain orphan court decisions are handled by the circuit court. So if somebody don't like the decision in the orphans court or in the district court, they can appeal to the circuit court. And so it has a dual role, so to speak. Matters that are very significant monetarily. If it's like less than $50,000, people go to the district court. But when you start talking about $100,000, $200,000, $1 million, that's a circuit court. That could dramatically affect people's lives. Yeah. And we have to be very careful. I think the public sometimes may not pick up how significant having a bad judge on the circuit court can be for 15 years. I mean, the devastation that he can do to people's lives and to the community is just shocking.
Let me ask you a question. Going on the current judge that we have right now, I mean, what are your thoughts about the current administration? You're talking about having a bad judge can really affect the community.
Right.
Has Judge Crooks being judge, has that affected the community in a positive way or in a negative way?
Let me say this. My preference is not to talk about the shortcomings of judges or people who are running against me. That's my preference, because I firmly believe that if you can't stand on your own merits, even saying something that somebody else did that was a mistake is not going to be a feather in your cap.
So you shouldn't run.
You know, and so I just think that I have been blessed to have such a diverse multi-state practice that's second to nobody in scholarship. Articles published nationwide. CLEs, panelists, the legal experience I have been blessed with, sir, it will take a backseat to nobody. And I'm not just talking about the candidates, I'm talking about the sitting judges. And I go so far as to say, based on my law office's research, not just the sitting judges in Anne Arundel County, but in the state of Maryland, I will put my diverse multi-state experience up to anybody, sir. And so I don't want to say anything bad about Judge Crooks. I will say this much. He sure seems like a nice gentleman. Every time I meet him, we shake hands and talk, he just seems like a very, a very mannerly gentleman. And I like that, because to me, civility is important. You know, and just being a pastor and having a love for people, period. You know, I think that civility is sorely lacking in our politics, in our business, and in our affairs. I think it's lacking. You know.
So what do you see? I don't want to say wrong, but what do you see maybe flawed in the administration right now? I don't want to say Crooks administration, but what do you see flawed in the administration right now? And if elected, what's going to change?
Right. 2 years ago I ran, and you remember the 4 judges that were successful. When you look at the experience of those 4 judges, none of them have the diverse multi-state legal experience that I have. You see, what happens is, we keep getting bad decisions, I believe, from courts because you have the less qualified sitting on the bench. That's what I believe. And so what I would say is that what I bring to the bench is not only something unique, but something that will be a great help to the entire community. And what I mean is that if I'm representing a corporate client in New Jersey, and then somebody comes to the circuit court from New Jersey suing somebody in some type of a conflict of laws type situation, that's right down my alley, because I have a multi-state practice. So a judge who's never practiced outside the state of Maryland, they got to go do some research. So I don't care how you slice that. When somebody comes in there with a conflict of laws type situation, That's right down my alley. And so what I'm saying is that I will bring something unique and something different and something that can't do anything but enhance the community, because almost anything people come in front of me with legally, I guarantee I done touched upon it or did some research on it or something because of my multi-state diverse practice. And most attorneys do not practice outside the state where they're licensed because of the malpractice risk. If you go to another state and you mess the law, you can get sued for malpractice.
Right.
That has never been a deterrent with me. When I go to a new state, I enjoy doing the research. I enjoy looking at the law. I love the law. I'm in the middle right now of a criminal case in Louisiana. Well, a young man got into a little dispute with somebody in the community. They're trying to put him in jail for 30 years. I mean, it's these type of things that offend me as a person and as an attorney. You know, just something minor that has just exploded off the scene. The person got the dispute, we came to court, said, I don't want him. We just had a bad day, this type of stuff. And they found this young man guilty, trying to put him in. I mean, it's these type of things that I'm offended by as an officer of the court. And I will travel to Louisiana from here to fight for this young man who I know. And so having a heart for people and still applying the law with, as the facts dictate, but still having a heart for people, not losing that. Sometimes the law can be a hammer. And if a judge can see beyond that, he can become a terror to the community. It's very serious, sir. The circuit court, you know.
So how can people get in contact with your campaign? How can they get in contact with you? How can they volunteer, donate, door knock?
Yes.
On your campaign?
Yes. My website, rrnj-justiceforall.com. rrnj-justiceforall.com. If you go there, there's a place where you can say, hey, Reverend Jones, I put out some flyers, I put a lawn sign on my property, etc. All they gotta do is space on there for that. If you do that, you can be 100% certain, probably within the same day I'm going to reach out to you, because I'm trying to get my name out. 2 years ago when I ran, and something I learned from 2 years ago, that I don't know if there are 32 cities in Anne Arundel County, almost 500,000 people. I don't know if I made it to 5 cities 2 years ago. I just didn't know what I was doing. So now I know, and I've learned from that to get my name out. If people don't know you, like if I don't know you, I'm not going to vote for you.
Right.
So that wasn't, me not getting a lot of votes made sense to people that didn't know me. So now I've been trying to get my name out. I've been trying to get to every one of those cities, at least get a law sign somewhere out there. So my goal this time is to get to 32 cities. I got to quite a few of them. I haven't made it all 32 yet, but I still got a little time.
What do you have, Crownsville and Annapolis now?
Yes.
There you go.
I'm headed that direction. I believe I'm between 10 and 20 now. So I'm going to get my goal this year after learning what I learned 2 years ago, is to get to every city and put a law sign. And I have some postcards coming out. As a matter of fact, this week, they're gonna go to all of the zip codes in this county, so everybody look for those postcards. And the good thing about the postcards is it gives you some basic information about Reverend Jones. I've been married to the same woman this year, be 32 years. I believe personal things like that will speak to a person's integrity and a person's trustworthiness. If I can keep my word to God and the woman that I vowed to for 32 years faithfully, to me it speaks a lot about a person's trustworthiness. Certainly and easily, I can keep my word to the people of this county as a circuit court judge, to make sure if they ever come to court, if I'm blessed to become a judge, if they ever come to court and I'm the judge, they will be heard, they will be respected, and their legal affairs will be adjudicated in a just and fair manner without exceptions, no matter what community you come from. And that's my word to the people, the same way I gave my word to my wife 32 years ago.
No matter what community you come from, you'll be dealt with in a just way under Reverend Rickey Nelson Jones, who is running for Anne Arundel County Circuit Court Judge. Primary elections on June 26th. My name is Joseph Olmo for the Arundel Patriot. Visit our website for all the other candidate interviews. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.